I gotta
Yes.
ask you. Let me ask you a question. How would you describe your communication style? Like, if you had to describe it.
I'm very logical, very factual, very little fluff, and everything I say comes from the heart, meaning there's never an ill intent in anything I say. Even if it hurts feelings, it's not meant to. It's coming from a good place, but I'm
Okay.
very open to listening when it comes across wrong so I can re-explain it, maybe use new words too.
So let me see if I got this right. So when you communicate, you are very direct
Yes.
and um factual, but you come from the heart, so you have feelings, but no fluff. Like you're not trying to mince your words or edit yourself or things like that, right? Is that what I heard you say?
Right. Right. I don't try and tell a story with it. I'll kind of like if you think of somebody writing a memo and they're writing
Mm-hmm.
paragraph after paragraph.
Your head does like if I was in Tisha's brain, if I was in your
Yep.
head hanging out, what does it sound like in there? So if your brain had a voice inside it, if you could assign like a character, like a voice, whose voice would it be?
I hear my dad. you know, it's not a character you'd put out in the world, but my dad was an engineer. He was very ABCD, and I think that's where I inherited it from. My mom, like you, and my daughter was a Pisces. Well, she's tail end. I think she technically fell in the next one, but she worked like a Pisces. And it
Mm-hmm.
was storytelling and being able to give the facts, but with all the extra facts that you may not need.
What are you trying to say?
I love you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Are you saying I use fluff?
A little. No, but
Like a
your
little?
fluff, the nice
There's a
part
there's
about there is. And the nice part about it is when you, like you and my daughter, can use the fluff, it softens things. Like I have always been envious on how you write your emails and how you communicate in them with it's like you feel the love and the high vibration and everything in it compared to mine just ABCD. We're done. So somewhere between the two of us is the perfect communication style.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It
Mm-hmm.
really is. It is fascinating to me because
Oh,
my
I
brain
think
doesn't work like that. And it's funny because my husband, I've gotten better at it, but my husband always would laugh at me and say, um, he'd ask me like a yes or no question. Heather, yeah, go, well, so, and he'd be like, no, yes or no. Well, it's not that simple. So yeah, it
yeah,
is.
it is.
It really is.
It
Yes
is.
or no. I'm like, no, but no, 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 no. Yeah,
I
I
love it.
can't. Like I am
You physically can't.
incapable. I can't
Yep.
just give you that because it's
Because you
not that
can't.
it's
And
just
for me,
not.
just like Jason, I'm like, yes, I can say yes or no and be done.
It's not that simple. And so, but the reason I ask,
Mm-hmm.
right, is what do you do? Right? What do we do? What do people, right? Look at the total difference, right?
Yes.
In a relationship, in a working environment, when you've
Mm-hmm.
got personalities so different, emails, communication, asking questions, looking for guidance,
Mm-hmm.
not looking for guidance. Um,
Yep. That's the key. We just
right.
have to understand how we talk and maybe get the listener to understand how we talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so I was reading, I was on LinkedIn earlier today, and, so I see all those different posts. And of course, I follow,
Mhm.
you know, psychology, neuropsychology, business, all of that stuff.
Right.
And healthy management styles, leadership styles, all of that. And I saw a couple of really cool things on there today. And one of them was talking about, you know, high trust leadership, you know,
Mhm.
good leadership versus not so great leadership, and what makes up a good leader. And one of the things that was mentioned was, a good leader is somebody that creates a safe environment where people can communicate even if they disagree,
Right.
um and people feel safe being able to do that, not in disrespectfully, but where that communication style comes in, where you can be able to say, hey, listen, I'm going to say this. I don't want you to be offended, but I'm going to say this, and we can
Right.
disagree, and then we can all, sort of move past it, and we can either do it or not do it. And a perfect
Mhm.
example is, my business partner Bill. We do a team meeting every Tuesday, and he is the ringleader for that. And we have a full house; our entire team shows up for it, and he puts on. It's a lot for him.
Yeah.
We have it's a lot. We have an agenda, we've got technology, and he's got a lot going on, and he's a little high strung to begin with. Um and so he actually said at one of our leadership meetings, when you guys hit me when I'm first coming through the door with questions and this is going on, and I'm trying to focus on getting the meeting going, and he's like, I know I'm being an a-hole because I got a lot going on. And we were like, you just needed to tell us that.
Mhm.
So we have a new rule, and it's no talk Tuesday. Like,
I
we
get
have
that.
named it. It's
Yep.
no talk Tuesday. We don't talk to Bill on Tuesday.
Mm-mm.
He does a great job, and the
Yep.
team loves it. But the rest of the leadership, we're like, we totally respect you. We know that's a boundary. And after the meeting, you need to go and take a drive and
Yep.
clear your head. And when you're
Yep.
ready, you come to us. Right? It's no
And when you think about it, when you and I worked in the same office, I used to do that when you walk through the door going, Heather, I got this and this and this and this. And you're like, can I put my purse down?
right. Right. Can I have a minute? Just a minute.
No,
But I think that's
we
but
do.
that's trust. Like, I trust that
Ex-
I can say to you, can I just have a
yes.
minute? Because I know
Right.
myself. And learning to be able to say that. Like, look, I want to give you my undivided attention
Exactly.
and nothing going on back here. You're gonna get the monkey brain. The monkey brain. If you got inside my brain, if you if or would it be voices?
And I'm like, how do I see that? And because you just said monkey brain, all I'm thinking is the different animals on Madagascar all talking to you at once.
Monkey,
Yep. But
probably.
the key is everybody just needs to understand themselves enough
Mhm.
to communicate that to the people they're working with,
Yeah.
talking to, loving, whoever it is, to say, look, don't take offense. This is what I need. I need 5 minutes when I get home to put my stuff down before you come bombarding me with your whole day because you've been home for an hour and already decompressed. I haven't. Or whatever the situation may be, right?
Yeah. So your brain is a post-it note.
It is. Lots of post-its, but just factual.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Tisha.